The manhwa begins with an intense battle unfolding in a grand cathedral-like hall. All humans, they all have the same desperate instinct to survive. If not, then I wouldn't have struggled this hard to reach this point. 99 regressions, 99 deaths. But this time, this is the final attempt. The 100th regression. I will reach the end. The battlefield stretched before him, illuminated by a twisted red glow. Celestial figures hovered above, the so-called guardians, their divine armor radiating overwhelming power. Of course, they won't just step aside. A monstrous battle angel descended, her ethereal spear poised to strike. Golden light flared. The attack came, fast, too fast. Ryu Min's body moved instinctively, insignia of death. A chilling darkness surged around him. His body became weightless, shadows swirling like a second skin. The divine spear pierced through, but there was no resistance. His form had already vanished. Night of death. The world plunged into absolute darkness. Everything, the battle angels, the battlefield, the sky itself disappeared into a void. They shouldn't be able to see anything now. A flicker of motion, a guardian attempting to counter. It's fast, but he was faster. If that's the case, speed up. A surge of energy coursed through his veins. His movements became blinding. His scythe cut through the darkness like a phantom's whisper. A guardian collapsed. Another followed, one by one. They can't stop me anymore. The blood-red sky pulsed. Moonlight destruction. Blood moon. A crimson glow drenched the battlefield. It was over. Or so he thought. Ryu Min exhaled, scanning the eerie landscape. His gaze locked onto a towering temple in the distance. A trial gate. He stepped forward. A system message flashed before his eyes. In order to open the boss room, 5 players are required. What? A dull ache formed in his chest. Players? His fingers trembled. There's no one left but me. Another system message blinked. The player has been disqualified due to not meeting the entry requirement. The player will perish in 5 seconds. A cold shiver ran down his spine. A suffocating weight pressed against him. Damn it! A final gut-wrenching message burned into his mind. You have died. You have fulfilled the requirement to program time reversal rune. You will go back in time before the first round. The world crumbled into nothingness. Time reversal rune uses 100 100ths. His consciousness collapsed. You have expended all uses. The imprinted rune will automatically perish. And then starting the 100th regression, darkness swallowed him whole. As Ryu Min opened his eyes, the cityscape shimmered with warm lights. The night sky glowing as lanterns floated upward. A massive crowd had gathered before a grand traditional palace. Among the sea of people, our protagonist Ryu Min stood still. His piercing gaze was hidden beneath his hood, blue ethereal energy swirling around him like a ghostly aura. His fingers twitched as he clenched his fists. Fuck, I'm back. A bitter realization washed over him as he looked at his hands, flexing his fingers to confirm his presence in this reality. Back to day one, stuck in this shitty-ass game, even though I got to the final 20th round. If I could, I'd stop time right here. The crowd's energy surged as people swayed to the rhythm of their cheers. His breath hitched. Ryu Min slowly removed his hood, his eyes gleaming with resolve. Well, this is the final try anyway. I will see this game through to the end. But for that, I need to take a people with me to the final round. His gaze flickered over the crowd. Who'd be best to party up with? Not far away, a group of men huddled together. One of them, a broad-shouldered figure with sharp eyes, cracked his knuckles. Yeah, we're finally going to be adults. Another man with silver hair chuckled. No more need for our fake IDs, right? Laughter rippled between them. What should I do after graduating? Should I try food delivery? One of them turned to their leader. Huang, what are you gonna do? A cocky grin spread across the man's face. Didn't I tell you before? I'm gonna be a gangster. You weren't kidding about that? His friends burst into laughter. The tension of the countdown faded as their casual banter continued. Ryu Min, now standing in the open, drew their attention. "Wait, isn't that your grandboy?" One of them nudged Huang. "Yeah, that is my grandboy." They watched as the countdown ended, the energy around the young man shifting unnaturally. Huang's amusement faded. His expression darkened as he squinted at the glowing figure. "Huh? That fucker!" Suddenly, deafening thud reverberated across the square. The sky rippled, golden light cascading down like an aurora. A divine presence descended from the heavens, bathed in radiant brilliance. The crowd gasped. "Damn, is that an angel?" A towering celestial being hovered above them, adorned in ornate gold and white armor. The redundant selection has once again commenced. Gasps of awe filled the square. "I'd believe it more if it wasn't real. She's so pretty. So she appears," Ryu Min muttered to himself, his eyes narrowing. "It's still displeasing, even after 99 times," the angel sneered, her golden eyes gleaming with amusement. "Such a lowly crowd. How pitiful." A sharp murmur spread through the crowd. "But don't get any strange ideas. I have no intention of mingling with vermin like you." Seeing all your reactions, the angel's expression darkened. "You must be able to hear my voice." A man scoffed. "Hey, what are you, some overdramatic NPC angel or something?" He pointed at the celestial being, laughing. But then, splat! His head exploded. A wet, sickening sound filled the square. Blood rained down in a violent spray as his body collapsed, lifeless. Screams erupted. Panic spread like wildfire. The crowd scrambled, their expressions frozen in terror. The angel's eyes burned red. How dare a lowly human speak to a higher being like me in such a manner? The air thickened, suffocating. The golden light turned crimson, her divine presence shifting into something far more ominous. You humans have no right to question me. Dare raise your voice against me, and this will be your fate. Ryu Min remained still, watching. So I have to listen to this explanation again. The angel hovered higher. Now we're going to begin a game. On the first of each month for 20 rounds, humans from age 15 to 29 shall be transported to a new dimension to play a game. Ryu Min sighed. Here we go again. There, you humans have one thing to do. Complete the given quest. A murmur rose. What is she talking about? Sounds like she'll let us leave as long as we beat some quests? The angel's lips curled into a wicked smirk. But not everyone can survive to complete your goals. A cold chill ran down their spines. Only half of the participants in this game will be spared. So I'm okay in this game, right? A man with a nervous grin chuckled. His friend's face twisted. Fuck. You that happy to live, huh? Are you confident? What the? Didn't you see the head blown off earlier? Don't you get the situation? The angel raised her hands. It looks like the total participants will be 1,800,029,940. The crowd stilled. Now, since I finished the human introduction, it's time to start the game. A bright flash erupted. The young man opened his eyes in a void. You are now all in a space where you can't see each other. A glowing reflection stood before him, his own figure. Before the spiritual transfer, you need to create a body. Consider it a sort of customization. A smirk played on his lips. Well, I guess I'll do what I normally do. The orbs fused and he whispered his chosen name. Black Scythe. In the next instant, the world around him shifted. The golden light faded as the new avatars solidified. The vast emerald plains stretched out before them, rolling hills swaying under a crisp blue sky. A gentle breeze rustled through the fields, but the peace was deceiving. This was the battlefield. The players, humans now clad in medieval-style attire, blinked in confusion. Their bodies felt unfamiliar, stronger, different. Whoa! Someone stumbled forward, patting their arms. Where are we? The black-haired figure in the center, Black Scythe, stood silent, his deep crimson eyes scanning the area. Same as before, the reactions never changed. Nearby, a woman grinned at her friend. I decided to give a celebrity's face to my avatar. Damn, that really worked. Black Scythe's gaze sharpened. Amateurs, they still don't get it. He strode past them, arms crossed. If they have any brains, they should never do that. We are in a world of survival. If you attract attention, you'll just be a target. If you die here, you die in the outside world too. A towering, muscular man strode forward, his broad frame wrapped in a tight black tunic. Hwang Yong-min. He picked a musclehead avatar again. Across the field, other players were appearing one by one, each bearing their customized forms. The angel hovered above them, her piercing gaze sweeping over the fresh avatars. Seeing your faces, you must be happy about your newly created forms. Her lips curled. I like crushing your misguided optimism. The golden light intensified. Let's see. A total of 1.8 billion players. The murmurs grew. It doesn't look like there are that many of us. As expected of lowly humans, the angel sneered. Did you think this would be easy? Before we get started, I'll give a simple explanation. First, think to yourself, status window. A golden interface glowed before each person. Black Scythe exhaled, his expression unreadable as he glanced at his stats. Still the same trash numbers. His fingers clenched. This makes me want to sigh. The angel continued. The goal is simple. Become stronger. Her voice carried an unshakable finality. If you survive to the end and clear round 20, not only you'll be freed from this eternal game, you will also be granted a wish. The crowd stirred. The angel raised her hand. Lastly, say inventory and look inside. I have prepared a gift. Hwang Yong-min stepped forward. His large hand clutched the glowing crystal inside. A random rune fragment. The angel's voice rang out. As you can see, the random rune fragment is a one-time use item. You can only use it when you're level 1. Yong-min turned the glowing stone in his hand. You can use it by holding it in your hand and thinking use. His lips curled. Then, the angel chuckled. That's just the luck of the draw for you humans. A sudden pulse rippled through the sky. She lifted her hands. Now it's time to start the first round. Golden screens flashed. The first quest notification appeared. Round 1, defeat 100 goblins per person. A sharp crack split the sky. The ground trembled. The first goblin materialized, its glowing red eyes locked on to the nearest human. A deafening roar erupted. It really is like being in a game, someone whispered. Wait, is this a VR simulation? Were we kidnapped and now we're being tested on? The angel's voice slithered into their ears. You shouldn't get excited yet. Not all of the goblins have been summoned yet. The sky darkened. Thousands of shadows emerged. The system window flashed red. 10,000 humans versus 50,000 goblins. A wave of pure dread crashed over the players. What's with this stupid number? A chilling laugh echoed above them. The angel's golden glow darkened. Her once beautiful expression twisted into something monstrous. Fight to the death. A thunderous boom. The goblin horde charged. A black blur shot forward. The first human had moved. A pair of crimson eyes glowed. The first kill was seconds away. A goblin screeched, its rusted dagger raised high. It lunged, a sharp movement. Ryu Min dodged to the side. The creature barely had time to react before the goblin's body jerked. Its glowing red eyes dimmed before it collapsed, lifeless. He picked up the dagger that was dropped by the goblin. The dagger in his grip was still warm, slick with the goblin's blood. It wasn't the best weapon, but it would do for now. The other players were starting to notice. So cool! Did everyone just see that? Who is that guy? Is he special forces or something? Good. That's the reaction I was looking for. Another goblin lunged. Ryu Min didn't hesitate. He sidestepped, bringing the dagger down in a swift arc. The creature collapsed instantly. The system continued counting. Quest progress, 7100s. He barely glanced at it. He wasn't done yet. A player nearby, gripping a short sword, was trembling. The goblins are usually the weakest mobs in games, right? Well, we should be able to kill them too, even if not as easily as that black scythe guy. He took a step forward. The goblins charged. Splat. The player's hesitation cost him. A goblin's dagger sank into his side, his screams mixing with the chaos around him. Blood pooled beneath him. He wasn't the only one. More players began falling. Their weapons trembled in their hands. The goblins. They weren't just mindless enemies. They were relentless. Their small frames belied their savage nature. They rushed forward without hesitation, their blades eager to carve through flesh. Even though they were no bigger than children, they were monsters. And to the modern person who had never even killed a small animal, killing them was impossible. One player froze, unable to lift his sword. A goblin's dagger found his throat. More bodies hit the ground. The battlefield was turning into a slaughterhouse. The angel watched from above. She smiled. How entertaining. Her golden eyes scanned the battlefield. Even when they are the size of children, there's nothing these humans can do against them. She chuckled. But there is one. Her gaze locked onto Ryu Min. Black Scythe, she smirked. Interesting. A new system notification flashed. You have defeated a goblin. You have leveled up. Quest progress, 75 100ths. Ryu Min exhaled. Good, I'm almost there. He turned. Anyone else coming? The remaining goblins hesitated. Ryu Min's eyes gleamed. I guess I can take a breather. A golden light appeared before him. Status window. Name, Ryu Min. Nickname, Black Scythe. His gaze flickered to his stats. You get 2 stat points per level up. His fingers moved immediately. Put all stat points into dexterity. The system confirmed his choice. Dexterity +9. Ryu Min's lips curled into a smirk. Dexterity is the most important stat in the early game. It increases dodge chance, attack speed, and movement speed. With this kind of progress, I should have grabbed the angel's attention by now. He exhaled. Time to finish up. His dagger gleamed. A final stab. The last goblin fell. A golden notification blinked. You have defeated a goblin. You have leveled up. Quest. Progress, 100 100ths. You have completed round 1. Ryu Min lowered his weapon. That wasn't too hard. A golden light flared. Congratulations. You have completed the quest in first place in the current region. The other players turned toward him, wide-eyed. The system continued. Congratulations. You have completed the quest in first place in the entire region. The angel's gaze lingered on him. Interesting. Ryu Min smirked. That's exactly the reaction I wanted. Another system notification appeared. As a reward for first place in the current region, you have received lowest rank rare weapon ticket. A second notification followed. As a reward for first place in the entire region, you have received special rewards selection chest. Good. Now let's see what I've earned. A selection screen appeared. You may select one of the rare weapons listed. Menacing longsword, stiletto, javelin. Ryu Min's eyes landed on the dagger. I'll take the stiletto. He selected it. The system confirmed his choice. Obtained stiletto. The details flashed before him. Ryu Min glanced at his old weapon. Toss this trash away. Then he used his radon rune fragment. Another notification appeared. His eyes widened slightly. You have obtained the title, The Last Time Traveler. This is new. He read the details carefully. Title, The Last Time Traveler. Unlock condition. Obtain 100 time reversal runes. Effect. Upon death, remain in the same spot for 1 minute in spirit form. When desired, resurrect with full health. One-time ability. The title will disappear after resurrection. Ryu Min's eyes darkened. I just got something insane. The system messages had confirmed it. He had completed the first round's quest. But the game was far from over. His eyes flicked to the side, scanning the field for familiar faces. He spotted young Min in the distance, still alive, though barely standing. Good, he'll make it. The others weren't so lucky. Bodies littered the ground, some human, some goblin. The once thriving battlefield had become a graveyard. From above, the angel observed with mild amusement. "You pitiful humans." Her golden gaze swept across the survivors. A chilling smirk curled on her lips. The single word carried an unnatural weight, as if reality itself twisted at her command. A deep rumbling followed. The corpses, they were vanishing. The remains of the fallen disintegrated into golden dust, scattering into the wind. What's going on? The survivors could only watch in horror as the battlefield reset. Then a thunderous roar. More goblins materialized. No, not just more. 50,000. She gave us a refill. The angel's voice rang through the field, filled with sadistic delight. "I'm sure you'll have more than enough to kill now." Terror spread through the players. One by one, the goblins descended upon the exhausted humans. The weak were slaughtered without mercy, their deaths fueling the cruel spectacle. The finished counter climbed at an alarming rate. Ryu Min exhaled sharply, watching the chaos unfolding ahead. The system chimed. Finished numbers reached max. The goblins vanished. Silence fell upon the battlefield. It was over. Or so they thought. The angel's golden glow dimmed, her expression twisting with disappointment. Only half of you could complete the quest. A sinking dread filled the air. What? What does she mean? Her next words shattered their last hopes. She continued, "Since it's done now, the others will have to die." Cold realization set in. These were the same rules as before. Completion meant survival. Failure meant death. One man stumbled forward. Hold on a second, Miss Angel." His voice trembled. "I just need to kill one more, right? Just one more." He reached out, desperate. "Please." A golden light flared. Splat. His body crumpled. The remaining players stood frozen, the weight of their reality crushing them. The angel smiled. "What's with the gloomy looks?" She tilted her head, feigning innocence. "Shouldn't you be happy that you're still alive?" The survivors remained silent. "Regardless, it's fine. You can return now." With a flick of her wrist, a system window materialized. Round 1 results. All regions. First place, Black Scythe, level 5. Second place, Stupid Idiots, level 5. Third place, Heavenly Demon, level 5. The system continued. Rewards, rank rewards. Lowest rank rare weapon ticket, given. Special reward selection, chest, given. Clear rewards, 1,000 gold, not yet given. The system message vanished. Ryu Min clenched his fist. "Everyone knows I'm rank 1 now." A voice called out. "Black Scythe." He turned, meeting the gaze of the angel. "Answer a question for me." Ryu Min crossed his arms. "Go on. How are you so strong? Did you acquire a special rune or something?" Ryu Min smirked. "Can't you just look at my status window?" "Of course I can. There is no way an angel wouldn't be able to see your information, right? I was just testing you." A cold chuckle escaped Ryu Min's lips. The conversation was cut short as his voice rang out. "Miss Angel." The players tensed. "What is it, human?" A smirk crept onto Ryu Min's face. "It feels like the rank 1 reward is a bit lacking." The angel's expression darkened. "What?" He stood firm. "I was hoping you could give me something better." A dangerous glint flashed in the angel's eyes. "What did you just say?" "I don't like the rewards I received." His voice was unwavering. "So I want you to give me something better." The angel's face twisted with rage. "Is this fucking piece of shit human really daring to make a request of me? A mere human? Daring to negotiate with me? I thought I'd keep an interested eye on him because he was active at the start. But is he looking down on me just because he killed a few goblins? You filthy—" She raised her hand to pop his head like he did before. Then realized she can't, and she has already used that authority already. A cruel smirk curled on her lips. "You want a better reward, huh?" Her voice was syrupy sweet. "Normally I'd reject a request like that without a second thought." The air crackled with unseen energy. "But I'll think about it." She turned, glancing at the others. Everyone else, wait here for a moment. The players watched in disbelief. She's really going to give him a better reward. I can't believe haggling with an angel worked. Should I try too? Probably only because he's rank 1. Ryu Min remained quiet, his eyes locked on the angel. She was leading him away. She's planning something. He followed without hesitation. A smirk tugged at his lips. Right as she was about to ask him what reward he want, Ryu Min punched her in the face without even giving her any time to react to what just happened. The sensation of flesh tearing under his grip sent a cold thrill down his spine. The angel's scream echoed through the empty expanse, her once pristine wings now sullied with her own blood. Ryu Min's grip on her wrist tightened as he twisted it behind her back. She writhed in agony, her golden eyes wide with shock. "You!" Her words were cut off as he yanked her forward, slamming her into the ground. Dust and feathers scattered, the once lofty divine being reduced to a trembling heap beneath him. Wait, this won't bring you any benefits," she stammered, her voice laced with desperation. Ryu Min's cold gaze locked onto her. "It will, not that you'd understand." The angel, Brielle, flinched at his response. She wasn't dealing with a panicked, clueless human. No, this one was different. He was too calm, too calculated. "You'll regret this," she screeched. "You won't be able to return home." "We return automatically." His voice was devoid of doubt. Her breath hitched. "How do you know that?" "Simple. I've done this before." The realization settled in her frantic gaze. "Ah, right," she gasped, attempting to salvage her situation. "I can tell you everything. Just let me go." Ryu Min's lips curled. "Don't need it." Her eyes widened in horror as he raised the dagger. Her own weapon, the one she had concealed in her wing, intending to stab him when his guard was down. Brielle's voice wavered. "How did you—" Ryu Min leaned in, his tone eerily calm. "I saw it in your face." Before she could scream, the blade plunged deep into her chest. Her body convulsed, divine blood spilling onto the ground. The once mighty angel, a supposed guide in this twisted game, lay defeated beneath him. "You have defeated an angel. You are the first player to kill an angel. Title obtained, first ever angel slayer. You have obtained angel's blood. You have obtained the rune of slaughter." Ryu Min exhaled. The notifications flooded his vision, but he paid them no mind. He had anticipated this. This was his plan all along. The rune of slaughter pulsed against his skin, embedding itself within his body. All stats will increase by 1% per kill, stacking up to 100%. A smirk played on his lips. A stacking buff until the round ends. This will make things much easier. But the real prize was the blood, angel's blood. A small vial of crimson liquid glowed in his inventory. This is the key to unlocking a unique class. He had known about this since his 13th loop. Unlike regular class advancements, this one was on a completely different level. Only the first person to kill an angel can receive it. And now it was his. A notification flickered once more. Round 1 complete. A brilliant light engulfed him, swallowing the battlefield whole. The bell of Bosingak tolled in the distance. Yongmin opened his eyes, finding himself back in the familiar cityscape. Around him, the other survivors stirred, groggy and disoriented. "Oh, my head," he groaned, rubbing his temples. His large frame was hard to miss in the midst of the shaken survivors. "You're awake," he stated, his tone flat. "Yeah, that was some crazy shit. But we're back, right?" "Like, actually back?" someone else said in the background, their voice held an uncertain edge. The murmurs intensified, panic creeping into their voices. "If that was real, does that mean we have to go back on February 1st? One by one, they blinked, the reality of what had transpired settling in. That wasn't a dream, was it? A man clutched his hand, his breathing uneven. "I was fighting goblins. He looked around, his expression twisting in horror. The players who had yet to wake up, weren't sleeping. Young Min remained still, watching as the realization struck them. A man hesitantly reached down, putting his wrist against the face of an unmoving body. No, he is not breathing. His face paled. Holy shit, he's dead. The words hung in the air, suffocating. One after another, they checked the motionless figures. The result was the same. A collective shiver ran through the crowd. Then the ones who haven't woken up? Young Min jolted back, his face in worry. They're all dead? The numbers aligned. Only half had survived. The weight of the game pressed down on them, suffocating, unrelenting. Holy shit! A laugh rang out, low, almost disbelieving. Young Min stood amidst the crowd, his shoulders trembling. But it wasn't fear. It was excitement. This, he exhaled, his lips curling into a wide grin. This is fucking awesome. His face, drenched in sweat, was stiff, his breath slow and steady. His friends around him, however, were not as composed. That bastard is a literal thug, one of them muttered under his breath, watching the way Young Min stood, his sharp gaze scanning the crowd. Unlike the others who were still trying to process what had happened, Young Min looked around with a keen focus, his mind racing. Where's my shuttle boy? The absence of his underling, Ryu Min, left a strange void. His eyes darted through the waves of people, but he was nowhere to be found. Did he die? No, that bastard was too sharp for that. Then where is he? His mind drifted back to the last moment before the selection, the look Ryu Min had given him. There was something off about it, something that unsettled him even now. A glint of silver caught his eye. Not far away, a man clad in plate armor was standing in the middle of the street. The heavy metals shimmered under the streetlights, completely out of place in the modern cityscape. The armored man raised his hand and suddenly a translucent golden screen appeared before him. Young Min froze. What the hell? He took a deep breath and cautiously raised his own hand. Status window. With a soft chime, a golden interface flickered into existence. His heart pounded as he read the text floating before his eyes. Young Min's breath hitched. It worked. Young Min let out a low chuckle, his eyes glinting with something dangerous. He picked up a rock and crushed it with his bare hand. This is awesome. His fingers twitched as he clenched his fist. The power, the stats, the level-ups, everything he had gained in that nightmare world. It was still here, even in the real world. A slow, almost sinister grin spread across his lips. If this is real, then that means I can still use my strength here. The implication sent a thrill down his spine. If stats could be carried over, then what about skills, equipment, abilities? The others around him were starting to realize it too, their eyes wide with disbelief as they called out their own status windows. Some gasped in awe while others stumbled back, overwhelmed by the knowledge. This is insane, someone whispered. The world had changed overnight. It wasn't just an illusion, a bad dream, or some conspiracy theory floating around on social media. It was real. Ryu Min walked through the streets, his eyes scanning the countless news reports flashing across outdoor screens. The headlines were relentless. 1.8 billion souls kidnapped worldwide, half of the victims declared dead upon return. Players displaying unexplainable abilities. The world was in chaos, but none of this was surprising to him. He had seen it all before, 99 times to be exact. Scrolling through his phone, chatter around the media was filled with speculation and disbelief. It's gotta be fake. There's no way something like that actually happened. Yeah, just some dumb prank, right? No way they actually fought goblins. Yet Ryu Min ignored them. The night was still, yet the weight of an impending storm loomed over him. The fact that the player's abilities have been carried into the real world. There aren't any people with high stats right now, so its effect isn't that significant. But as players level up, they'll become transcendental beings. Ryu Min's gaze was sharp, unwavering as he reflected on the events unfolding before him. The world will descend into chaos. The second round will only accelerate that process. There was only one way to prevent anarchy: control them with overwhelming power. His expression remained unreadable beneath his hood, his fingers tightening slightly. He had already mapped out the key players, the ones who would either be obstacles or tools. I'll take them under my wing before anyone else does. At least 5 players are required to open the boss room. A critical requirement, one that would determine the future of this world, which is why I need to start recruiting now. His pace remained steady, his mind already calculating his next move. The game had only just begun. He turned a corner, arriving at a familiar apartment building. It wasn't particularly grand, just a small, rundown place where the walls peeled and the creaking of old pipes echoed through the stairwell. His steps were steady as he ascended the stairs, stopping before a door. He pushed it open. Inside, a boy lay curled up on a mattress. It was Ryu Min's younger brother, his breathing even and peaceful. The sight was oddly grounding. "Wani," he called softly. The boy stirred, groggily rubbing his eyes. "Hyung." "It's morning," Ryu Min said, stepping inside. Yawning, Wani sat up, blinking blearily. "What's with you? You're so serious." "You don't know what's happening in the world, do you?" Ryu Min asked. Wani scratched his head. "Huh? What do you mean?" "Look at the trending searches." The younger boy reached for his phone, his face quickly draining of color as he skimmed through the news. "What is all this?" he murmured. "The world isn't the same anymore," Ryu Min said. "That angel that appeared last night, she wasn't some illusion. She was real, and she took people's souls into another world." Wani's fingers trembled over his screen. You too?" "Yeah," Ryu Min confirmed. "Barely made it back alive after killing 100 goblins." Wani's head snapped up. "Wait, really? You didn't get hurt, did you?" "Stop worrying about me," Ryu Min said, shaking his head. "How can I not?" Wani's voice wavered slightly. "You're the only family I have now." Ryu Min's lips pressed together. He knew that already. He had been there for Wani ever since their parents passed away. And he would continue to protect him, no matter what. "It's fine," he said, his voice firm. "I made it through." Wani still looked unconvinced. "You're not that strong physically, Hyung. You'll think differently once you see me in action later." The younger boy blinked in confusion. "Huh? What do you mean?" "Follow me and you'll find out," Ryu Min said. "We're headed for Bang Taegyu's hideout," he said, his tone casual. Wani stiffened. "Bang Taegyu? You mean the guy who—" "Yeah," Ryu Min interrupted. "The guy who bullies you." Wani's breath hitched. Ryu Min's eyes darkened. "It's about time I had a chat with him." Wani's steps faltered. How did you know about that?" His brother didn't answer immediately. Instead, he let out a deep breath. "I should have known earlier, but I didn't. I only found out a few hours after I returned from the first round." The memory was still fresh. That day, Wani had gone out for a bit. He hadn't thought much of it at the time until he received a sudden call from an unknown number. "Hello. You need to come to hospital immediately." His heart had nearly stopped. By the time he arrived, Wani had been beaten so badly he could barely open his swollen eyes. His face was covered in bruises, his lips split. He could barely speak through the pain. And yet all he had said was, "Hyung, sorry, I didn't want to make it obvious. You were already having a hard time." That was the moment Ryu Min had decided. This will never happen again. A cold glint settled in his eyes. "I won't let anyone bother you again," he murmured. "No one." The brothers arrived at their destination. Inside, a group of thugs lounged around, laughing and talking loudly. At the center of it all sat Bang Taegyu, the guy who thought himself untouchable. "I told you idiots to bring 200,000 won each," he barked, glaring at his lackeys. One of the boys trembled. But we don't have any more money left," Taegyu sneered. "You're all fucking useless. How am I supposed to buy my bike at this rate?" His eyes darted around the room. "There's gotta be someone we can squeeze cash from." Silence. Then one of his lackeys suddenly perked up. "Oh, what about that bastard?" Taegyu's lips curled into a grin. "Ah, yeah, the curly-haired errand boy. I was planning to call him today anyway. A few chuckles rang out. We should beat him up for the new year. Yeah, let's make him cough up whatever he has. Another lackey hesitated. Boss, that guy's a total bum. He doesn't have parents. He barely has anything to his name. Tegyu's grin faltered. Worthless? Then someone stepped into the room. The air instantly shifted. The laughter died down. Eyes turned toward the entrance. A tall figure stood there, his expression calm. Too calm. It was Ryu Min. Next to him, Ryu One stiffened. Hyung! The thugs all glanced at each other. Hey, who's that bastard? He looks annoying as hell. Wait, Tegyu's eyes gleamed with interest. Well, speak of the devil. He slowly stood up, rolling his shoulders. You're not the devil, but you sure as hell are a bastard, right? The room filled with low laughter. Wani flinched. He knew what was coming next. One of the thugs cracked his knuckles. Hey, boss, should we? A loud smack rang through the air. Everyone froze. The room erupted into chaos. Tegyu lunged at him, his fist flying, but he hit nothing. Ryu Min was already gone. Too slow. Another thud echoed as he crashed against the floor. Gasps filled the room. He's fast. Shit, he's strong. Tegyu coughed, struggling to get back up. He clenched his fists. But bastard, what's your deal? You learned boxing somewhere? A slow smirk spread across Ryu Min's lips. It's not about boxing, Ryu Min continued. It's about strength. Real strength. What the hell? That's not possible. Ryu Min took a step forward. You must not watch the news, he said, his voice low. Tegyu's throat tightened. What news? His body was shaking now. Ryu Min stared him down. If you did, you wouldn't have come at a player like me. Ryu Min's eyes remained locked on Bang Tegyu's trembling form. Blood trickled from his swollen lips, his breath ragged as he clutched his bruised ribs. The other gang members had long since backed away, their expressions frozen in terror. The silence stretched. Only the distant hum of the city remained, an eerie contrast to the brutal scene that had unfolded moments prior. Tegyu forced out a shaky breath. I won't touch him again. Ryu Min tilted his head slightly as if considering. That's a good start. His voice was eerily calm. But I don't like uncertainties. He crouched down, grabbing Tegyu's collar and dragging him closer. The thug flinched as their eyes met, fear evident in his dilated pupils. So just in case, Ryu Min continued, his voice a whisper against the suffocating tension. I need you to feel this in your bones, to never forget. Before Tegyu could react, Ryu Min's fingers clamped onto his wrist. A strangled scream tore from his throat as pain shot up his arm. The gang leader collapsed, writhing in agony. Ryu Min released him, standing up without another word. His gaze swept over the other thugs, daring them to move. No one did. Let's go, he said, turning toward Wani. The younger boy hesitated, his wide eyes flicking between the unconscious bodies and his brother. His lips parted, but no words came. He had never seen this side of Ryu Min before. Hyung, his voice was hesitant. Just now. How did you do that? I told you, he said simply. Players can use their abilities in the real world. Wani blinked. You mean stats? Ryu Min nodded. He raised his hand, and in an instant, a dagger materialized from thin air. Wani gasped. You can summon weapons? Anything I obtained in the other world, Ryu Min confirmed. I can bring it here. The younger boy swallowed hard. That's crazy. No, Ryu Min corrected, flipping the dagger in his hand effortlessly. That's reality. Wani watched in stunned silence as his brother dismissed the weapon, the blade vanishing into nothingness. Ryu Min thought to himself, I don't plan on telling Wani that I'm a regressor. In my 11th regression, I revealed everything to him, and a player kidnapped Wani. I took revenge, but I don't want my brother to endure such indignity because of me. The fluorescent lights of the convenience store cast a dull glow over the shelves. the hum of the refrigerators the only sound filling the space. Ryu-min stood in front of the ATM, withdrawing a huge amount from his savings, something that he has never done in front of Wonnie's eyes. Wonnie's face paled. "Hyung, what are you doing? That's too much. I need it for something. Now hurry up and pick something to eat," Ryu-min said, standing. Wonnie hesitated for only a second before grabbing a grilled red chili paste pork belly meal. His eyes sparkled. "I've wanted to try this forever." Ryu-min smirked. "Good choice." As Wonnie started to enjoy eating the delicious meal his brother has bought him, Ryu-min slipped out and brought back another surprise that didn't make sense in his brother's eyes. Ryu-min has spent the whole savings that he had on him on lottery tickets. Not just one or two, a whole stack of 20 tickets all at once. Ignoring him, Ryu-min grabbed the tickets and a pen, walking toward a table. He calmly began marking the numbers, one after another. Wonnie's brows furrowed. "Wait, why are you marking them all the same? You don't even know if you will win." Ryu-min didn't even blink. "Because these are the winning numbers." The air inside the living room felt still, almost as if time itself had paused. Wonnie sat on the couch, his legs tucked under him, biting his nails nervously as he watched the screen. "Let's start today's draw for the 1049th lottery." The host's voice was calm and collected, but the tension in the room was suffocating. Ryu-min leaned against the counter, arms crossed, watching with an unreadable expression. His younger brother, however, was far from composed. "Hyung, why do I feel like we're screwed? You blew away 100,000 just like that." The mechanical whirring of the lottery machine filled the silence as the balls spun rapidly inside, waiting to determine fate itself. Wonnie's heart pounded with each second that passed. As the time passed, numbers started to show up, and eventually all 6 lucky numbers have been chosen. Suddenly, a sharp breath escaped Wonnie's lips as he whipped his head toward Ryu-min, his eyes wide with disbelief. That's crazy! We won the first prize!" He could hardly process the words coming out of his own mouth. He looked down at the ticket in his hands, checking, double-checking, triple-checking. "Hyung, can you pinch my cheek? Pinch yourself." Wonnie did, hard. He yelped, rubbing his reddened skin before looking back at the ticket, then at his brother. This isn't a dream, right?" "Nope." "We're really millionaires now?" "Keep your voice down," his lips twitching at the corner. "The neighbors might hear you." Ryu-min let out a small chuckle, but his expression soon turned serious. He had already known the outcome, but securing cash quickly was a necessity. The world was about to collapse. Millions had already died. The economy would soon start to falter, and it wouldn't be long before cash became more valuable than gold. The automatic doors slid open as Ryu-min stepped inside the bank. Despite having won the lottery before in past regressions, Ryu-min wasn't nervous in the slightest. He approached the reception desk, and the man behind it blinked in surprise when Ryu-min handed over his ticket. "I'm here to collect my first prize winnings." A tense silence followed before the man gasped and hurriedly pressed a button on the intercom. Please wait one moment. I'll call someone right away." Within minutes, an older man in a well-tailored suit approached with a warm smile. "Congratulations, sir. My name is Kwon Junho. I'm the president of Non-Hyup Bank. Please, follow me." He was led into a private room, offered refreshments, but Ryu-min wasted no time. "Let's just get to the main point. How much are my winnings?" The woman in the VIP sector chuckled, appreciating his directness. "After taxes, your total comes to approximately 15 billion won. Ryu-min barely reacted, only nodding. "Transfer it." With everything processed, he left the bank with billions sitting in their account. But Ryu-min wasn't finished. The sound of fingers typing on a keyboard filled the room. First of all, Ryu-min looked up, a new house where him and his brother could still move into something that luxurious and have top-tier security. And in the afternoon, he sat at his desk, setting up a stock account. The stock market was about to shift drastically. He knew that Bitcoin was about to triple in value next month, so an investment now would yield massive returns. With careful precision, he poured nearly 14 billion went into cryptocurrency and stocks, leaving 1 billion for daily use. The next morning, Wonnie stretched his arms, looking more relaxed than ever. Hyung, yesterday's dinner was so good. I've never seen a house that big and expensive before. It was the best out of all the places available. Security is good too. Yeah, but Hyung, you bought all of that with just 1 billion left? What if we need money? Ryu Min glanced at his brother and smirked. We can always win the lottery again. Wonnie blinked. What? I saw 4 winning numbers in my dream, Ryu Min said nonchalantly. Wonnie nearly choked. Hyung, you remember all the numbers, right? Obviously. Are you kidding me? That's insane, Ryu Min chuckled. Anyway, let's get ready. We're moving today, outside in an alleyway. Yong Min blowing his frustration. He flexed his fingers, feeling the power coursing through his veins. No, the muscle enhancement rune was working perfectly. His strength had skyrocketed, his speed unmatched. He clenched his fist, a small smirk forming. Even Tyson would be jealous of this power. He cracked his knuckles. That's enough testing. His eyes flickered with determination. It was time for the real deal to begin. The air was thick with tension as Hwang Yong-min paced outside the apartment complex, his fingers twitching with frustration. He had called, texted, and even staked out the building, but there was no sign of Ryu Min. That bastard! He's ignoring my calls and hiding? Does he think I'll just let it go? He muttered under his breath, his teeth grinding together. The memory of those sharp, unyielding eyes glaring at him burned in his mind. His pride, his authority. It had all been shattered in an instant. No one defied Hwang Yong-min and walked away unscathed. His hand clenched into a fist. Even if we're both players now, a loser is still a loser. I need to fix his damn manners. He took a deep breath and stepped toward the apartment door, prepared to force his way in. But just as he reached for the handle, a voice interrupted him. Excuse me, student? Hwang Yong-min froze, his head snapping toward the old-aged man standing nearby. How's that your business? He snapped. The man raised an eyebrow. Are you looking for someone? I'm the owner of this unit. Yong-min's scowl deepened. Yeah, my friend lives here. Haven't been able to reach him. Can you open the door for me? The owner crossed his arms, shaking his head. Sorry, but you've been stood up. That house is empty. They moved out today. His expression hardened. Moved? Where? Not sure. The man shrugged. They didn't say. Yong-min's jaw tightened as he turned away. That bastard ran without a trace. The sunlight streamed through the high-rise windows of their new home, illuminating the pristine interior. Wonnie's eyes sparkled as he looked around in awe. Wow, Hyung, this place is amazing. It's so big. Let's get inside. Wonnie practically bounced on his feet as he followed. Hyung, how big is this place? About 100 pyong. Wonnie's eyes widened. That's way too big for just the two of us. Ryu Min smirked. I have plenty of money, so we should live somewhere nice. Wonnie hesitated. But the rent must be insane. How much is it? Deposit was 5 billion won. Monthly rent is 22 million. 22 million? Hyung, that's too expensive. It's necessary, Ryu Min said simply. Because it's expensive, the security is excellent. Wonnie swallowed, nodding slowly. Security? Every first of the month, players fall into a deep sleep and are the weakest then. Accidents can happen. Fires, earthquakes, assassins hired by other players. The safest place possible is the only option. Wonnie's excitement dimmed slightly, but he nodded in understanding. Hyung, do you think you'll make it back? From the next round? Ryu Min's expression didn't change. Do you think I won't? Just in case. A small chuckle left Ryu Min's lips. Don't worry needlessly. Come on, let's go eat. I heard there's a really good Korean restaurant nearby. The next morning, Ryu Min blinked awake at the sound of the door opening. Won, where are you going? Wonnie turned, startled. You're up? I ordered rice cakes, so I'm going to go get them. Ryu Min sat up, rubbing his eyes. Rice cakes? Wani nodded. Since we just moved in, we should give some to the neighbors. It's the polite thing to do. Ryu Min chuckled, shaking his head. Well, there's nothing bad about being a good neighbor. Wani grinned. Right? Let's go together. Soon they were knocking on doors, handing out rice cakes, and greeting their new neighbors. Most accepted them with warm smiles and thanks. As they moved up the floors, Wani hesitated before looking at the top penthouse. Hyung, do you know? The people up here own both the 44th and 45th floors. Really? Yeah, they must be ridiculously rich. Ryu Min hummed, stepping forward to knock. No response. Maybe they're not home, Wani said. Let's just... The door suddenly opened. Both brothers froze as they took in the person standing in the doorway. A stunning woman with long, flowing hair and radiant skin. Wani gasped. That's actress Seo Arin?